From silence to spotlight. Now, that's not just a title of my speech, but this is exactly what my journey is all about. From silence to spotlight. Every milestone, every step that I've taken in my life reminds me that small voices, they can spark a big change, huge impacts. And how that unfolds, you'll see in a bit now. Now, when we talk about childhood, we know what's normal. What's normal for parents is to, encourage their kids to have a normal life, to have a real job. How many of you would agree, or how many of you have heard about this? Get a real job. Focus on the career. Yeah? Yes, exactly. All the hands went up. Yes. Mine was absolutely normal too. Get a real job. My father was an Air Force personnel with about 30 years of service for the country. And he wanted me to be normal, just like him, and wanted to get a great paying job, respectful profession, and so on, so that I can live a good life. However, I didn't really want that because my heart was full of, I would say, art. Because a creative person, a creative mind, always looking for, entertaining others and talking to people and storytelling, I had a little different bent of mind. And people around me were the voices of encouragement for me because every friend that I had, I would say every teacher that actually I studied with in my school, they always encouraged me. They spotted this little talent in me somewhere that, oh, he could sing well. Let's give him an opportunity on the stage. He can say the news headlines for the next day morning assembly. Or, let's make him sing or act in the plays or, theater dramas and so on. Those are the ones that sparked my passion. It came from outside. It came from my friend circle. It came from my teachers. And that shaped my life eventually. My dream got declared one day when I decided to, muster my strength and courage and walk up to my father and say, Dad, I tried very hard. I am studying very hard to do what I want to do, to pass my NDA examinations, to become an army officer. Eventually, you get to see me as, chief of the army staff or whatever. But I'm not able to do it. You can see that also. Let me tell you what I want to do. I want to be an artist. I want to see myself on the screen, on the TV, on the big silver screen, listen to my own voice on radio one day, Maybe I might even become a playback singer. You never know, Dad. You'd be really proud of me. Do you know what he said? He said, get a real job. Think of a real career. What you're talking about is okay, beta. This is fine. But this is passion. This is hobby. I was kind of silenced right from the get-go. And that was the first time I had admitted or declared about my dream. Silenced, but not stopped because, as they say, the heart always wants more. And my heart was not ready to give up. I knew that eventually I will see myself somewhere where I want to be. But I want it to be done with the blessings of my father, with the blessings of my parents. So what do? I need to reach some way of balancing my duty and my passion. Because it's easier to choose one path. Okay, I'll become a rebel. I'll leave this, I'll do that. Easier. Many people do that. I didn't want to be that. Of course, there is a little bit of rebellion there. But how to channelize the rebellion and put it to balance what the duty is asking for and what my passion is pushing me toward. That's where I was chasing a distant dream, I knew. But going through that journey in my life, I realized that small voices are the ones which will eventually take me, lead me, to my destination. I need to enjoy this journey while making sure that my parents are happy, my dad and mom, they're fine. Building two careers would be mostly what I would end up doing, and that's exactly what I did. But the purpose was one, to reach my destination of the passion and taking the support of those voices of the teachers, friends, encouragement, voices of encouragement, and the words of power which pushed me on and on. One fine day, I reached the land of dreams, Dubai. And when they say, Habibi, come to Dubai, this is where I came. And it was not my choice. It just happened. The doors got opened. I, of course, went out of India as the youngest training manager one of the big group of companies can have in Oman. Spent about 10 years there, and 10 years later, I was in Dubai, again, as one of the youngest directors of an education firm, even though it wasn't my choice, but that's where my job took me. I would call my career, my professional career, very shining, but at the same time, struggle that no one sees is the amount of times I have gone to studios, more than 100 studios back in Delhi when I was younger, while I was walking the streets doing some jobs to make my pocket money so that I don't have to ask money from my father. Did all of that, earned amounts of salaries or money from the jobs that I did and the struggle that I did on the side with the studios, earned me the satisfaction, the contentment. And it taught me a very important lesson that money is absolutely important. Money can give you happiness because you can buy the things that give you happiness. But passion gives you meaning. And that is what led me further on. And what happened after that was a leap of faith. One fine day, I quit my job, which was so cushy. So it stepped out of the comfort and the security and the safety of the salary and monthly job, because I was tired of go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home. I wanted to do something that I can be proud of for the rest of my life. That's where leap of faith happened. And I always believe the network that you have is your net worth. You just need to know how to convert it. And I happened to meet my wife, who is now my wife. Then she was a stranger. And she mustered these little words or little voices of strength to me that, hey, you know what? Don't be disappointed. You can do it with the talent, with the voice, with the qualities that God has given you. You can make it happen. I'm going to be with you. She kept her word. She ensured that I become visible. So eventually, with a lot of hard work, a lot of cold calls, a lot of social media, digital marketing, this, that, every little thing that I did was put out there to be seen, so that, because people who see, they call you, they give you more work, right? So that's where I became heard, visible, known, recognized. Cut to 2025, where I am blessed to say that land of dreams, the city of dreams, UAE, Dubai, where I actually became what I am, also gave me recognition by the Golden Visa and said, hey, you know what? Live here for another 10 years as an artist. That was the testament for myself. My message to each one of you all seated here, everyone included, is don't step away from letting your voice be out. It could be a small voice today. It could be a small thought or a concept or a very small, silly idea, which people say, silly idea. But your silly idea, your small voice could be that big change that could transform not just where you live, but probably a much bigger landscape, much bigger canvas, which you have no idea about today. So don't shy away. Be sure that these small voices are heard. You never know. Someday, somewhere, some other Joe would be stepping from silence to his spotlight. Thank you.